Hello everybody and welcome back to some more RimWorld. Alrighty, the time has come for us to get some wondrous progress. By the way, I discovered what is causing the whole red lines thing across everyone's body. You might have seen this coming. It's the tough skin gland. Yep. So, for whatever reason, the tough skin gland causes the red lines. I'm guessing because of the facial animations. Oddly enough, the stone skin gland does not. The stone skin gland does have its own problems, but at least we know. So, I don't know that every single skin does that, but we know for a fact the tough skin gland does, which is unfortunate since it is kind of a nice in-between, actually, what's it called? Hard skin? Armor skin. Okay, so there's armor skin, stone skin, and tough skin. There's also vac skin, oddly enough, which doesn't do us a whole lot, but it is an option. So, in this episode, what we're gonna do is we're going to finish up this colony and then get going once again. After all, we knew it wasn't going to be a permanent stay, so we're not going to stay permanently. Now, there is a couple things I want to do before we get going. Mainly, I would love to get some hyperweave up and running. I think that's a little bit out of our means to do so, I suppose. We could technically also try to buy a bunch of hyperweave, but I'm gonna be honest, that is giga expensive, and I don't even know who sells a lot of it. So, we'll try. We will certainly try. But for the moment, I think what we're gonna do is we are just gonna have Kyoko keep doing your thing. After all, crafting is at 6, so if we can get that higher, hey, it's just all the better for us. A quail has become self-tamed. Okay, yeah, welcome, why not? But once we get everything up and made, a bit of, maybe, hyperweave up and running, and all the clothes we could use running and made, we're gonna begin the third colony. Now, we have gotten extraordinarily lucky with the permanent summer both times, or it's a bug, or it's a setting that I accidentally ticked. I don't know. Either way, I know that permanent summer has been hard carrying us. If it wasn't for that, honestly, we would be on episode 20 right now, so so you know, there is that. However, I'm gonna go ahead and take a wild guess and say that the next colony we go to is probably not going to have permanent summer, but we'll see. Hopefully it does, but we'll see. So, Quest 1! We gotta do some trading. So, our old base is still over here, so potentially we could fly over there, see what's up. There is this one as well that we could do a little bit of trading with. There is also one directly down the road from us. And then pretty much everyone else is aggressive to us. So, as far as friends, we have no friends. If we can fly over to this Moyo area, they might have something of note. And if we become friends with the Refugee Imperium, that might also be of note. I think the Refugee Imperium only trades if you actually have, like, high enough titles, though, which we clearly do not. Oh, dude. Tony is actually so close. 14 out of 15. There is actually a world where we can still make hyperweave. Well, I mean, if you're going to offer it on a silver platter, I'm not going to say no, now am I? I will say, Tony has been quite the find for our little home here. But I still think Pillar, with her death revives and everything, was probably the most interesting one. Only thing is, boy... okay, it's hard for me to say, like, oh yeah, we should just always trust the strangers. But sometimes it really is worth it. It's hard to tell when, because who knows, they'll just randomly attack sometimes, but when it works out, hey, it really does. League of Qualium Raid. Several separate groups of Moyos from League of Qualium have arrived in transport pods nearby. They will prepare for a while and then attack. Knives, a wrench, and a Moyo SMG. Okay, could be worse. Okay, this is a bit brutal. We don't have that gun made for Natalie, at least not yet. So... and these boars aren't quite prepared to fight. Natalie, you have Archotech arms, right? Or bionic arms, sorry. Okay, well, you know what? You're just gonna have to go fist fight with melee, I'm afraid. Okay, so, both of you, you're gonna start moving over. This is gonna suck. But it does give us time to prepare for this round. Okay, here we go. Run him down. Ah, scary gun. Good thing we have a shield. Okay, not terrible damage from Natalie. Obviously, melee, the far superior melee attacker. Haha! Goes with the name. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start attacking here. That Moyo's down. Take all their goodies. Good stuff, the both of you. Then, you're both going to run and join Tony as quickly as possible. Okay. Now that you're all together, let's start getting ready to just run them down once again. I do want both of you to slow down for just a minute. That way Tony can catch up. Okay. Tony, go for this one. Melee, you're right here. And Natalie, you're going to run down the one in the back. Absolutely should have spent way more time getting ourselves some actual weapons, but that's fine. Okay, they're fleeing, so you know what? We're gonna leave them be. And instead, melee... how close are you to dying? Ah! Death in 5 hours. You know what? Let's go ahead and get some tending, because my thinking is, since people tend to be a little bit nicer to you if you help their people recover, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So, you are... no longer dying. Melee, capture. Then, we are going to release her as soon as she's healed up. Every little bit counts. I know it resets, but if we can avoid being attacked in the meantime, that would still be quite nice. Something else I'm trying to do, oh, well, it's ready now, is I want to go sell as much as possible. So, I've loaded up a bunch of our boars, because we're not going to be able to take them all anyway. And we are going to fly very, very close by over to Hudspeth. And if they have chem fuel, we'll keep going. If they don't, whatever. So, corn, shard, psychite tea, ambrosia, and of course, smoke leaf. Also, they don't want our boars. That is a little bit unfortunate, but whatever. Tech pint... we didn't really want that. Persona core, we don't care about that. Sterilizing stomach could be interesting. They really don't have anything too of note. Maybe I missed it. No. Okay. In that case, we will take... 100 chem fuel. Now we need to start taking stuff off because I cannot possibly afford all of this. Actually, that works out pretty nice. All right, let's do that. Okay, refuel. So we're at 287. That's not terrible. Okay, we're ready to launch. So let's go ahead and launch over here. Let's go trade. Okay. Psychite, Ambrosia, and of course 2 kidneys. And in return, I would like your advanced components. We don't really need your regular components. Let's get 200 chem fuel just so we have a way back as easy as possible. Pain stopper is interesting. Let's see. Maybe I missed something again. Let's type in Arco. Nope. Okay, well, advanced components it is. We do need advanced components, so either way, I guess it's not terrible. I will take your plasteel as well, actually. And then we'll take a little bit more chem fuel, because I think we're just going to keep flying around. And they can afford all this, for the most part. Okay, boom. Now, refuel from cargo. We're back up to pretty good numbers. Now, it's saying that we only have 224 shuttle fuel. If that's really the case, that's not good. Debatably, we should just come home then. No, you know what? This is 60. Let's go trade here. Okay. Now we have 164 remaining, so let's sell off the last of our ambrosia, and we take... They don't have any. Were we just here? Did I accidentally do a U-turn? I think I did a U-turn on accident. Well, whoops. Alright, we'll just go home, refuel, continue this. I think this is how we're gonna do this, because honestly, we just need advanced components right now, and if we can find any super amazing limbs, that'd be pretty good too. So let's go ahead and go home, land right back here. Okay, good stuff. Now, it's saying that we don't... Wow, we really did go through that much chem fuel, huh? Unexpected. Off we go. Okay, I'll take all of your chem fuel. That way we can keep this train up and going. You don't have anything of note. I will take your gold if you would be so kind. Okay, a little bit less. Boom. Okay. Now, from here, we have a couple options. How are we doing on fuel? Absolute max. Okay, that's what I like to see. Because what I'm thinking, we jump over here, and then we jump back. I don't know how good of a play this is about to be, but we're gonna try anyway. So, we're off cooldown. How much is this? 177, which means this will be about 200. It is scary, but it's not enough to stop us. Okay, good stuff. Now, I will take all of your advanced components, if you would be so kind. And if you have any, which I'm not seeing, nope. Alright, in that case, I will just take your plasteel and your gold. Well, alright, that's basically all of our money. But it was worth it, wouldn't you say? We're also going to refuel as much as possible, and then we are going directly back home. There is also a couple world quests that we could do, but we're not doing that with only Bowman anyway, so... Ah, Kyoko and Bowman. both of you appear to be ready for, what's that? Your final sets of new installments. Absolutely incredible, my friends. So, here's what we're doing. Kyoko and Bowman are both about to get new lungs and new legs, after which all 5 of our characters who will continue remaining with us will be fully upgraded. Other than, you know, some things here and there, and technically the Arco stuff is a bit better, but we're gonna ignore that for the moment. Something else I'm doing. Our wealth is just about there. We're just shy of 290k, so I'm replacing all of our straw mat flooring with more expensive stuff. For example, steel tile. Up here, totemic sandstone. Over here, we're doing a mixture of wood and sandstone. Wood sandstone. Here, we're doing silver tile. That way, everyone's a little bit happier while they're in here. Plus, it is expensive. Same deal over in our big crafting room. We are doing a bunch of silver tile, and then we're doing a bunch of wood down in our prisoner room. I did also very slightly enhance our electrical wiring. It's a little bit nicer. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it is certainly far more complicated than any other time that I've done it, so there is that. So, something else I'm also going to do, just because I think it'll look a bit nicer, we're going to go ahead and connect our electrical stuff over on this side as well. That way, it's just kind of like a nice round, circuit. I don't know if that actually matters, but hey, probably better safe than sorry. And ripping up all of our hay flooring and exchanging it with other stuff is absolutely going to raise our wealth like crazy. And, of course, Tony has finally gotten 15 crafting. So, once Tony feels like it, we are going to try and produce as much... Ow. My jaw just cracked, but I'm gonna ignore that for the moment. Gonna try and produce as much hyperweave as physically possible. We're gonna make a bunch of clothing, and then we're off to the third. Is it the third or second base? I think it's just second base, actually. Well, third base, second map piece. Wow. Yeah, I definitely, I knew this was gonna be a long one. I didn't know it was going to be this long. But either way, in for a penny, in for a pound. Get ready, because we're going to be moving on shortly. So, I just find this so funny. With Apple, she sowed a bunch of plants, so she gets plus 20, one per plant, with the tooltip of what the world needs is more plants. Ah, yes. I couldn't agree more. That is why we're after the Archonexus, after all. For once we get it, the world will return to the beautiful green it once was. Ideally without any sort of mechanical interference, but we'll see. After all, the world does need some mechanical stuff. As far as wealth, we are just shy of 300k. Still building a bunch of our flooring, and of course, we are still working on hyperweave, but I suspect maybe an hour or two IRL. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm kind of thinking maybe we should just go spend a bunch of our silver on just, like, crap. Like, you know what? Actually, I have a really funny idea. How much wealth do you think plasteel walls give? Do you think it increases our wealth? Well, if it doesn't, we're about to find out. Because I am going to replace everything with plasteel. Well, everything that's kind of just out and about, at least. Reason for it, we literally do not need the plasteel now because we are getting ready to leave, so may as well expedite the process in exchange for just a little bit of plasteel. The once a year time rolls around again. Time to dance! Alright! And we have a nice cozy place to do it. Not to mention, it's unforgettable. It is plus 16 for 6 days, and everybody gets a work speed buff. Absolutely incredible. Now, we're going to send Bowman, and I want to do some big selling. Ideally, we are going to be able to sell so much and have so much silver, gold, whatever have you, that nobody is going to look at our stuff and go, man, I wouldn't buy that for $1. No, 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 no. Instead, they are going to look upon us in awe and hopefully buy most of our stuff, because we only need 50k more. Moyles first. Nice. Alright, they don't have as much money as I would like, but that's fine, because we are after they don't have any gold. What about plasteel? No. Okay, so in that case, how long do we think it takes for everything to actually refresh? I don't know. You guys are neutral. We could probably... Yeah, you guys will probably want a little something something that we have, right? Well, let's come over here. Okay, what do you got? Alright. This seems about as good of a deal as we're possibly gonna get. Actually, there we go. So, we are gonna be ending up with 4,000 silver, 200 and something gold, and we're also going to get a bit of advanced components and 230 plasteel. Overall, I'm willing to say that that was a heck of a trading spree. Okay, here's the thing though. If they're not selling chem fuel, we have the very real chance of becoming stranded. Which is, you know, kinda not too good. So that is something that we do actually need to consider. What we could do is just bring an entire refuel's worth of chem fuel onto the passenger shuttle. That way we're able to go a little bit further. Honestly, I probably should have been doing that already, but you know what? I haven't exactly had a whole lot of time learning to use the passenger shuttle, so oh well, it's good enough for now. Couple more plasteel walls do go up, and combined with all of our newfound wealth, everybody is finishing up what we want. I am also putting up a bunch of gold doors just so we have them. I think it increases our wealth. I mean, it has 20 beauty, so if that doesn't help, I don't know what does. And technically, yes, we could do one of the regal doors, but meh. Also, do we have enough gold for 3 doors? Not cold. Gold. About 300, and it's 250 per? Nope, we don't have enough. I wonder, can you... You can make silver walls. Well, this is going to be the world's most expensive venture, but you know what? Why not? Why shouldn't I have silver walls? Well, there goes all our money. Never mind. Okay, there's really not a whole lot I want from them, so tell you what, you can have 1,000 wood, and I'll take 900 silver. They did also tell us about a cache, which we might go investigate, but for the moment, I'm more interested in making our base look unnecessarily good. Is there actually a point to making silver walls, by the way? because I'm just making it to raise up our wealth, but I don't know that there's actually a good reason to do this. Like, it just seems like, oh man, I've got way too much money. Better just use it as walls. Like, definitely not a good idea normally, I think. But, I mean, alright. Oh. Well, we're not giving them anything. Let's compare, right? For my own sanity. 210 hit points from a silver wall. 840 from plasteel, which is one of the best. And yeah, okay, there's like no reason to do it. But you know what? It looks good. Maybe that's the reason to do it. Maybe it's just so beautiful. It's like, people look at it, they're like, man, they must be the wealthiest people on this RimWorld. Like, I guess that's as good of a reason as any, I guess. Now we just need more plasteel to make more walls. The time has come. In the span of not even 1 1/4 of an episode, we are ready to move on to our next colony. So, here's what we're leaving with as far as what's on us. Apple has all hyperweave, and it's dyed just to make it a little bit nicer. Hyperweave tribal headdress, hyperweave tribal gear, hyperweave sash, and a hyperweave duster. Then, Master Melee has the cataphract helmet on once again, because it's still at 50%. Hyperweave sash, devil strand heavy bandolier, because I ran out of hyperweave. Shield belt, obviously just naturally very good. Natalie! Actually, I don't know if we'll keep that, actually. I guess we'll find out. Natalie! With a full set of hyperweave gear as well, except for the bandolier, which is made out of double strand. Bowman! Okay, it is hyperweave. I just forgot. I thought she was wearing the cloth stuff. I was like, bro. But no, that's just her favorite color. Hyperweave everything. And Kyoko also hyperweave everything. So, it's that time again, where we abandon yet another colony in search of the Archonexus. Now, I'm actually quite happy with how the layout of this one went. All things considered, I actually think that this is, like, one of my better layouts. Like, yeah, you know, it is kind of all over the place, but all things considered, this was also my first, like, truly not underground build. So, I don't know, I think that's something to be proud of. Now, a lot of stuff over here is just because I was trying to bring up our wealth, but all things considered, our colony is that big. It's actually a fairly big colony. Very, very spacious. Now, it's time to go. First things first, we are at a 360k wealth. And the Archonexus is ready to be accepted. With the first Archonexus map part securely recorded, you prepare for the next step of your journey. The wild people told you of the cataclysm that destroyed this world. Humans built a great thinking machine here centuries ago. It turned against the people and there was a great war. Only a few were left when the machine transcended and fell dormant. The map to the Archonexus has 3 parts, and you hold one of them. The next map part is encoded in a very strange way. In order to interpret it, you must first learn more about the structure here. Here we go. Alright, here's what we're bringing. Apple, Bowman, Kyoko, Master Melee, Natalie. We then bring the Awakened Nectar Maker Dryad, the Awakened Spitter Dryad, 2 of our wood-making Dryads, and Earl, the randomly tamed elephant, because there's a bond with Bowman. Then, as far as items, we are taking 25 Psychite Tea, learning from our mistakes this time. Wood, so we can get building without needing to destroy trees. Plasteel, steel, the Resurrector Mech Serum, silver, and gold. Silver and gold. Alright, here we go. It's time to say goodbye. All of you, take care of this place, while we continue in our grand quest for the Archonexus. Your colony was sold. So, where are we going this time? We got lucky twice. I don't see it happening again. I'm honestly kind of tempted because we have 2 bases over on this side, right? Scarlands is not a good idea. Temperate Forest could be okay. Arid shrubland, I kind of don't want to live there. Features fertile, though. Features a creek. A mixed biome. Yeah, a creek could be interesting because it's fishing and we can actually use water mill power. That is, of note. Cola Hot Spring. Okay. Arid shrubland. I don't know. Honestly, like, we could technically just go across the map, but I kind of just want to stick around where we have been. So what if we... I don't know how bad the shrubland will be. This right here, it's sunny and it's a creek. Average temperature is 19. Creek. You know what? Let's try this. Let's try the temperate forest over here. It's also on the same screen as our previous 2 bases, so we'll try it out. And here we go. You have 2 parts of the Archonexus map. The Green Bee Tolka have the last piece of the map, passed down from the time their ancestors survived the cataclysm. They'll trade it to you for a wealthy new colony, along with its recorded research. As before, the map part is encoded. In order to decode it, you must first study the Archotech structure. It's time to get building. It begins again. Well, let's take a look at what we got. Okay, it's another absolutely colossal area. This one not quite as wide, which I'm honestly pretty okay with. We can convert this building into something pretty impressive, I think. We might do that. Okay, Anima Tree is not in too bad of a spot. I mean, okay, honestly, I'm kind of liking setting up like an awkward triangle right here. This will be like our real big crafting area. This is obviously where we do all of our praying and, you know, focusing and whatnot. Also, I need to fix Natalie's hair. What is that? And this can be where we all go to sleep. I mean, that seems pretty good, honestly. Okay. Okay, we can work with this. And then this is shallow moving water. Moving water is moving water. Also, most importantly, look at that fertile land. Oh, baby, that is some good land. Oh, yeah. Alright, this one's a keeper. Grand Archotech Structure. A grand structure of towering height and impressive bulk. The shape is hard to perceive, and the surfaces seem to flow when stared at for too long. It could have appeared moments ago, or been here thousands of years. It emanates intense psychic influence, forcing thoughts and perceptions directly into the mind of anyone who ventures too close. The emanations are not aggressive, but they are utterly alien and impossible to ignore. Sensations unlinked from time or space. the endless rumination of an inhuman mind 1,000,000,000 times larger. The weak-minded lose themselves quickly under. Only the psychically deaf are immune. Oh, good. This one's worse. Epic. I like it. Alright, well, unfortunately, not a lot to be done about that. So, what are we gonna do? It didn't mess up all of our stuff, did it? No, we're good. Everyone still has the kind of work that they want to do, mostly. Let's see, we gotta set all this up again. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Everyone is set to do a little bit of mining. Let's get some harvesting in there. Everybody is good at it. Hunting, no need. Bowman, yes. Handle train, pretty please. Okay, and then everything else looks as though it is mostly set up. Okie dokie, here we go again. How impressive it is. So, based on what it said, there is one more map piece. And we need a full-blown alliance with the Green Bee Tolka. Here's the issue. They don't like us. They're actually an enemy. I kind of had a feeling it was going to come down to that. So, we went from someone neutral, we have to make them a friend, to then we can just do whatever we want and it's fine. Now we have to make friends with an enemy. Okay. Alright. Well, we'll see what we can do. We do have a bit of wood. So, despite what it says, we do have a bit of wood. We are going to close this area off immediately. We'll shift things around as needed, but for now, we just got to get some zones up and going. So this is going to be our stockpile room. I'm just going to break down the slab. That is totally fine with me. Let's extract that tree. That way we can move it. Then let's get ourselves a wooden wall up and going over here. We are going to need to adjust some stuff, but that's fine. Let's break these down. Dig up that tree, cancel this. Okay. Then this is going to be our dumping zone, because it is significantly bigger. Okay, good stuff. It is a start. And we'll expand on this as we go. We will be generating a little bit of wood income, but it's not going to be pretty for a little bit here. We could set up a bunch of deconstruction missions, and I think we're honestly going to do that, just to make things a little nicer for us. I am going to deconstruct everything over next to the anima tree, because we want it as pure and fresh as physically possible. Then we can remove all the flooring. That gives us some bricks to work with, which we can immediately put back into our structures. Then, as far as zone, let's go ahead and toggle this. We are going to have the world's latest and greatest Devil Strand farm directly over here. Okay, let's just keep expanding. I know technically I could just, like, click and hold, but I want to be sure that it's exactly what I want. Okay, boom. This right here is not Devil Strand because we don't know how to plant it. Alright! In that case, what should we get planting immediately? Corn? Corn is a good choice. Then we can expand the zone over here. Okay, let's get this going. Boom. This over here will be cotton. That way we have it up and going as much as we need it. And then we can shrink zone right here. This is going to be cotton. Okay. Then I can... Oh, wait a minute. Actually, can we even do... Ah, psychoid. There we go. Okay. Woo! Kind of worried that we couldn't do Psychoid, but luckily for us, that's not the case. We're also going to have an absolutely colossal Psychoid farm, because I don't ever want us to run out, and it also sells for quite a bit of money, so it's probably good to have around. So, corn Psychoid. Okay. Then this is going to be cotton. And then once we're allowed, I am going to plant a ton of our boy, the Devil Strand, which I definitely forgot the name of for a few seconds. Alright, you know the deal. New colony, we show everything that happens at the start. I think that's a pretty fair way to do it. Now, once again, there is the thing. Apparently, there's one more colony to go, according to the quest log, so that's just great. Oh well. We'll get there when we get there. But for now, rip everything apart. Ensure that we have all the materials we could ever want. And then, you know, when the time comes, we'll do a little bit of mining. Novice ceremony, meh. Actually, you know what? That is a really interesting thing to think about. Your title would probably carry over, right? So technically, if you were a high enough title when you began this quest, you would still have the benefits of that title, right? So theoretically, even though you don't keep all your allies and stuff, you would still keep your level, which means like all the things where it's like, oh, I summon backup, I summon a drop or whatever. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing. You would still have all that. Something to think about, perhaps. Also, I am just going through all these trees, replanting them, because we do not want them getting destroyed. So, may as well move them completely out of the way. Okay, I believe that's all the trees we have to worry about right now. Good stuff, so they will move that when they feel like it. And, because we have some fairly good animals, we're gonna be in business. There is also the fact that we can make an ambrosia tree with our awakened nectar maker whenever he gets the starting signs of separation sickness or starts getting close to 2 years old. I think we're gonna turn him into an ambrosia tree because it's just pure value. You really can't go wrong with it. Low medicine, meh, whatever, that's fine. Bowman apparently is inspired for surgery. Don't know why you're thinking about surgery right now, but sure. Okay, Natalie, what's the debuff? What's the damage? Archotech Emanation, minus 27! It makes me perceive so much. Eyeless knowledge of absolute existence. All minds speaking and dying and birthing at once. It's hard not to lose connection with myself. Creepy. Very creepy indeed. But we're so close to our goal of a never-ending and everlasting forest. We cannot fold now. At least that's what we tell ourselves. All the trees are just about replanted. Our needs, honestly, should be a little bit higher because of that. No, it's a -2 because, oh, we disturbed the trees. Ugh. What do you mean we disturbed the trees? They're fine. Probably. I am also going to break down these granite urns because, hey, may as well. Honestly, this will be a nice little area. I think this will eventually be where we sleep, but for the moment, it just is going to be what it is. And then this could be our giant storage room, I believe. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there, and eventually I'll do something with all this too, but no need to worry about it right now. Okay, just about everything is planted. This little baby oak tree needs to be replanted, so let's do that. This needs to be replanted, so let's do that. Okay, we do also have a little bit of ambrosia. Everyone's sleeping on the ground, but hey, you know, it is what it is. We also need to replant this tree, which we will put over in this little open area on the left. Alright, well. It is what it is. By the way, getting permanent summer 3 times in a row is, I'm starting to wonder if we shouldn't have it. You know what I mean? Like, the first time, it's like, oh my god, we're so lucky. The second time, it's like, well, you know, we were somewhat close to where we were initially. This time, I'm starting to wonder if we legit just should not have permanent summer. I really wonder if I accidentally tick something. If I did, oof. If I didn't, and we're actually just getting that lucky, then, don't mind if I do. Okay, research is going strong. Ooh, Apple has inspired recruitment. We like that. Okay, not a lot to store right now. So, we did make a little bit more wood, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to make a stonecutter's table immediately. We're going to put it right here just because, hey, it's out of the way. May as well. What else should we make? We can afford to make a couple things right now. Hand tailor bench. We don't really need that. You know what? Let's make 2 simple research benches. Was there any chairs that I broke down? If there was, I think they're already broken down. So, you know what? We're just going to ignore that. For the moment, let's make some stools. I know it's not super comfortable, but you know what? It's something. Then, you know what? Let's just uninstall all this. Let's just get it out of the way so we don't forget later. Just uninstall absolutely all of that. Then for flooring, let's go ahead and just rip up all this floor. Yeah, there we go. I do feel like I want to keep this around. Maybe we could make this a bit of a prison slash capture area, or like quest area, if we need to keep people for a long time. That might be a good idea for this. Another quest I'm thinking about is, this time I want to try and take on the dudes. The ancient guys, I want to take them on this time. We haven't for the past 2 colonies, so this time we don't have an excuse. We're on round 3. I think we should take them on. Sure, you know, there's the extremely real chance that we might just fall over dead, but, you know, it might be okay. And then everyone is still going about what they're doing. Good stuff. If we can get a visitor somewhat soon, then maybe we can make a little bit of a trade happen. Don't know. How much limestone do we have? Let's take a look. If I could spell it right, that'd be great. We have enough blocks, so let's see. We have 150 that we know of. So let's do 1, 2, 10. Just build all the way down. Yeah. Why not? Let's just completely make this into something we can use. I think we're pretty safe to get rid of some of these steel columns, but what I'm gonna do, let's go boom, and then it would go there. You know what? Let's do boom, boom, cancel this. Then we do boom, boom. There we go. That ought to keep us safe and sound. And then eventually we can make all this into rooms and stuff. But for the moment, you know, it's doing what it's doing. As Kyoko draws near the ancient wall, she remembers, oh goodness me, there are super dangerous guys behind that wall. That's no good at all, let me tell you. Ooh, also, I do want to rip up these floors. Any other floors we can rip up? All the ones over here. I'm going to leave this. The concrete doesn't really matter too much. Okay, I think we're doing pretty good. We have so much open area. I'm really wondering. I kind of like how we did our previous base, where everything was sort of split apart, but at the same time, it was comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, it was still really comfortable. Maybe we'll do something like that as well again. I am going to expand this, and then let's go ahead and knock down these walls. That way we can increase our storage area just a little bit. I am also going to move these trees because they definitely don't need to be there. Okay, nice little roofing area. What do we have a lot of at the moment? I would say not a lot. Lime marble for once. Well, that doesn't really bode well for us. Okay, well, I was thinking of maybe expanding this so that we could get some full-blown rooms up. I actually think I want this to be our room area. The only thing I'm wondering about is how would we make rooms work? Because the ideal room for me, 4x5 is usually what I like to go for. Because bed, table, wardrobe, and then we have plant, maybe 2 plants, and then door. So, I mean, honestly, that could work pretty well. We could just have size 5 rooms, honestly. Like something like that, and then wall, that. That fits pretty good. I mean, that right there is 4 walls. 4 rooms, sorry. So if anything, we could just make them a little bit bigger this time, and then maybe just expand this a little more outwards. Absolutely colossal room for them to just hang out in, though. I don't know how I feel about that, but... tell you what, let's start making... So, I'm thinking something like this for the final blueprint for our living area. Now, there is a potential. I think what we can do with these rooms here, we can actually make both of them into little mini medical rooms. And we can have 4 of them. And, you know, while I know that isn't exactly the most efficient thing in the world, it does also kind of reduce our total infection, so technically it seems like a good idea, but at the same time it might not be. Either way, I am ripping apart this entire wall because I do want to do just a nice little bean oval kind of deal. I think it's going to look really nice. All things considered, I actually think it's going to be really, really good. Bowman is upset because of Psychite withdrawal. Well, don't worry. You absolutely... Actually, you know what? Are we out of Psychite? There's no way. You went through all that Psychite? Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Okay, well... it's not going to be grown for a little bit, Bowman, so you're in trouble now. Actually, that's because Kyoko has a chemical interest too. That's why it went away so fast. It's because 2 people were just drinking through it like crazy. Oh, all right. All right, it's okay. It's fine. Everything is okay. Okay, let's get ourselves all nice and built up. There we go. Okay, you guys are all doing that. Then, I think for now, we're just going to put a door on either side. That should be good enough. Look at that. Our nice little bean pod living area. And then, yeah, I think we can make these into little medical rooms, and that could be really, really nice. So I'm going to leave most of the blueprints for now, just because we are still going to need some. We do have a bit of granite, so what I'll do is structure, let's do... Actually, we have some slate. You know what? I think slate would look really nice. Oh, Natalie's on a food binge. Well, not entirely unexpected, I suppose. Let's go ahead and remove these plans right here. We no longer need them because we're going to be placing the pillars. Yeah. I mean, honestly, this looks really nice. At least I think so. You know, we'll see what our dryads think of it, but I sure think it's nice. I would also imagine that having marble walls would probably be really nice as well. What we'll do later is we'll most likely replace it with something else, but for now, you know, it'll do. And then once we're super, super rich, maybe we'll make all of our bedroom walls into, like, silver. That might raise beauty, might raise happiness a little bit. Yeah, you know, it might be worth it, I think. Okay, pillars are going up, so once we start installing all of the roofing, we should be a-okay. I do actually think that we're going to need all of these pillars, by the way, because this is going to be a lot of roofing and a lot of open air. So the more pillars we have down, the less chance that it is just going to completely collapse on us, and then we die. Kyoko is very, very upset. You know what? Apple, I know you're sleeping. If you could come over to the anima tree and give it a little sing. Much appreciated. There is also something else I was kind of thinking about. I know it is, okay, well, it's not against our religion, right? Our religion is we don't use growth vats. However, if we want Apple to make some more animakin, we theoretically could kidnap a male and, you know, make a little bit of magic happen, so to speak.
Ah, as expected. A group of tribes people is attacking us.
Well, Master Melee, you happen to be somewhat nearby, yes? We do also have our Spitter Dryad, so why don't we make something happen? Okay, let's go ahead and spit here. Blop. Okay, well that didn't quite work as I wanted. I kind of thought that was a little bit different than that, but okay. Now, our Spitter Dryad is not very good at melee combat, so this is actually kind of the worst situation. Okay, but if we can get over to him before he takes too much damage, we should be okay. We can also go for Spit. Alright, well, I suppose that works. Not exactly what I would have wanted to do, but sure, why not? So, unfortunately, he's dead. We don't really have anywhere to house him, so it is just one of those things. Now, who do we need to befriend again? One more time. Green Bee Tolka. Okay, well, if it was part of the Green Bee Tolka, I would try and nurse him back to health, but since he's nothing but an enemy at this point, I'm afraid we just will let him return to the forests. Oh, rainfall upriver is causing the river to swell. Oh, goody. Well, harvest absolutely everything because we're about to lose it to the waters. Which also means all this Devil Strand is about to go to waste as well. So harvest literally everything you can, because we're about to lose it. That is the downside of building beside a riverbank, I suppose. So, ideally, people are going to get on that somewhat quickly. Melee, let's do work drive on Apple. Okay. Now, Apple, let's do work drive on Melee. And then Bowman, do a work drive on Natalie. Okay, the quicker we can go about getting everything done, the better. Apple is currently going back to sleep, but luckily Natalie is on the case and harvesting as much cotton as physically possible before it all fades away. The only thing is, a lot of our psychoid is going to waste, so Apple, I need you up and harvesting right now, because we cannot afford to let all of that psychoid go to waste. No. You are going... If I have to click every single one, so be it. But we need to save this psychoid. Okay, Natalie's making her way over there, but it is definitely not the fastest. Alright, yeah, Apple is absolutely better at it. Good stuff, especially with that work drive. And remember, the universal 5% extra work speed increase, we actually are able to save a vast majority of our stuff. Which is good, because if we lost all of that psychoid, we were going to be in serious trouble. Okay, now, if we could get someone over here to work on this campfire... Melee is more fixated on cutting down a bunch of indoor trees, but that's fine. Psychite Tea! Do forever. Okay. Crisis averted. Even though it's still not good, crisis averted either way. Also, I think we are just gonna have to eat the super unhappiness right now, because we are in such desperate need of psychoid that honestly, I am just gonna take over this entire area. Yeah. Okay, so it is gonna be a rather substantial hit to all of our mood, but unfortunately, it is what it is. We're just gonna have to deal with it, at least for the moment. So, right here, boom, boom, boom. This will be Devil Strand. Okay. This will be more, if I can find it, Psychoid. There we go. Okay, that should be all of our needs taken care of for quite a bit of time. I was tempted to just let them cut down all these trees, but I guess we better move them just so we don't get too much of a mood hit. Yeah. Alright, we'll move a majority of them. I think I would rather upkeep our mood than have a bit more wood. Like, we do still have 2 awakened tree dryads, or wood-making dryads, rather, so it's not like we have 0 production, unlike some other times, so I think it should be okay if we're just able to move it. And I'm also going to move this one, not let that get... Domino Dust. Nice. What a name. And Natalie hard at work on those Psychite Teas. Bowman, hey, why don't you drink up? Then Kyoko, why don't you drink up? Whew. Okay. Good stuff. And we're already at the -20 for trees anyway, so maybe I should just let them do it, but oh well, whatever. What's most important is our little housing building is coming along. As we're turning stuff into more and more bricks, we are filling it out more and more, and eventually it should be good to go. Also, I think I might have thought of a little bit of a better solution for these 4 little corner walls. I still want to make 2 of them into medical rooms. I just think that's overall the best thing to do. But we could make one of them into a classroom / baby area, and the other one we can make into a cooking area. Huh? See, I think that's pretty good. Now, technically, we could put a heater inside and just have it heat up this entire place and just put a bunch of vents. I think what we'll do is we'll have a heater aimed a bit more like this. That way cold is going inside, heat is going outside. I think that's just going to be the better thing to do. And this will just be like... maybe... This could just be one giant freezer. Where everyone gets their food, they immediately come over here to eat. And then this right here could be a cooking area. And then we have a medical area. And then we have a schooling area. Honestly, I think I like that plan more. 4 little quadrants for 4 micro buildings, because we don't really need more than one person cooking at a time. We're almost never going to have a colony quite that big. Alright. Alright, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Transport pod crash. A child servant named Addie is crashing in a transport pod. Is that so? Well then, Addie, you are in luck. Luckily for you, we, can sometimes be benevolent people, now can't we? Now, enjoy your rest, for there is a very real chance that you will join our ranks, if you wish, but if you wish to leave, then so be it. So, I have converted 2 of our little corner cubby rooms into rooms that we're going to use. I also decided to put a bunch of vents just in case. My thinking is, if there's ever a fire or anything, we want to be sure that that heat is able to be dispersed in a somewhat healthy way, rather than just basically blowing up the middle room. So, with a total of 12 vents, I think it should be just fine. Then, this is going to be our cold storage room. At the moment, you can see we have a crap ton of corn and meals. Using up 60 corn a pop, we still have like 100 vegetarian fine meals. Mwah! Now that is good value. And then we also still have a lot of corn left to be used. Then we have a regular old fueled stove, because we don't have electricity yet, so I figured, hey, fueled stove is probably the best thing to do. I am going to set it to not be refueled for the moment. We have a butcher table, though we're probably not going to be using it for some time. And then I'm also putting down a ton of bonsai trees, just because it'll make us a little bit happier while we're hanging out inside. What I might do is I might move these flower pots one over just so the vent isn't, like, blowing directly onto it. We'll see. We'll see. But it is a thought. And then these 2 rooms over here, one is going to be purely medical, probably this one down below, and this one is going to be purely for, childcare of sorts. Now, as far as the rest of the map, the water has gotten out of control, but it seems as though this is as far as it's going to go. We're trying to mine a bunch of steel. We're mining a little bit of components. That way everything is just up and going. And for the moment, nobody is really doing research just because we have so much to do. But when we finish mining all of this compact steel, I'm pretty sure that we should get back onto the production train. I am also going to make a column right... Oh no! Addie has died! I guess we do have a lot of very low priorities, huh? Ugh. That's upsetting. That would have been someone new for us. Well. I guess not today. Okay, well. Bowman, you have the highest need when it comes to operating and everything. Melee, you are decent at it as well, so we're just going to bump you up to 3. And then Natalie, we're also going to bump Doctoring up to 2. Shame that somebody had to die for that to be changed, but hey, you know, that's what happens when you're changing colonies. Sometimes there's a single thing you forget to change over, and it's just no good. Very upsetting. We could have used the extra person this early on, but hey, you know, it is what it is. At least it is a lesson learned, if nothing else. Plus, there is also a chance that Addie wouldn't have joined us to begin with, so if you really think about it, technically, we just rolled the wrong 50-50 with Addie either joining or leaving, so, you know, does that make it better? Not really. But I can say that it makes it better.
Hospitality for allies.
Supernatural Mystic recently rescued 2 Outlanders from an enemy jail. She wants you to guard them until she can send a shuttle in 19 days. But if we do it, we do get a Moya. 19 days is a really, really tall order. Oh, this is actually receded. Okay, I didn't actually get a message about that, but okay. Hey, water's receded. We can go back to planting now. Yippee! So, 2 people, 1 child. So, we can convert this into a regular bedroom. Boom, that's 1 taken care of. I'm in the process of finishing up some of these other rooms. Also, apparently we made a masterwork wooden pot, so that's pretty nice. Okay, well. Let's do it then. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep them alive, but we'll certainly try. Certainly try indeed. So, just double checking. So it's 2 people, keep them for 19 days, and 1 of them is a kid. Okay. Now, this isn't the people we need friends with. Okay, yeah, it's a green bee Tolka. I mean, I would like the extra person. I gotta be honest, I would like them. We should probably do it, right? Yeah, we should probably do it. Okay, okay. Oh! Bowman has created another masterwork table. Okie dokie. Well, I mean, if you're going to do that well, then who am I to say no to you? By the way, Apple has... Another masterwork? Oh my god, Bowman. Now, I know your skill is like... Yeah, okay, well, you do... You do have an insane amount of construction, but god dang, the most masterworks in a long time. That has to be a really high chance at rank 20. But like I was saying, Apple, unfortunately, has developed a Psykite addiction, because she is currently binging on Psykite because she had a mental break. So that's just great. Now 3 out of 5 of our people are addicted to Psykite. So, you know, that's wonderful. I'm so glad about that. I'm so pleased. At the moment, I am trying to work on carpet making. That way we can, you guessed it, make some carpet. I was working on watermill generators, but I figure that carpeting is going to be a little bit more important just because it's going to make everybody a little bit happier while they're in their rooms. And if we can make people happy, that would be a little bit more worthwhile. Now, as far as the absolutely colossal project of making all the flooring in here into tiles, it's going slow. It's going very, very slow, but at least it's going. Oh, we have some visitors. Oh, it's our Dryad friends. Never mind, it's our Moyo friends. Look, we care not for other people's faction names, okay? All we care about is whether they are fair to us and the world around us. So they can have some ambrosia. Thanks. Appreciate it. About 200 silver for us. Yeah, I had a feeling ambrosia was going to be a really good choice, but so far, so good. I did also change it so that anybody on social drugs will use a little bit of ambrosia, although they're not doing it too much, so hopefully they start doing that. After all, we could absolutely use the extra mood. Okay, Apple's doing a little bit of research, so it is going to be a hot minute before we're actually able to get a lot more done. We would have been working on somebody new at the moment had we had someone in doctoring. But, on another note, the Grand Archotech structure is at 3,028 study out of 3,200. So, all things considered, that's going quite well. I am also going to accept for Flossie. Now we must keep Sean and Joyce safe and sound. Well, that's kind of funny. Gotta keep myself nice and safe. You don't have anxiety, do you? No. Okay, good news. It's not me, you guys. It's unfortunate, but it is true. Anxiety is, it's a heck of a thing, you know? Very not fun. If you don't have anxiety, good. If you do, well, I know your pain about as good as anyone else who does. Apple has developed chemical damage. That sounds real bad. Chemical damage at the minus 80% in her left kidney. The one that's not a detox kidney, the one that is supposed to help with diseases like this. That kidney? Oh, wonderful. Wow, that sucks real bad. Also, that's timing. Grand Archotech structure has been studied. You've completed your study of the Grand Archotech structure. You can't say that you understand it in any complete way, but you have detected patterns in its behavior and the way it seems to express information. With this knowledge, you will be able to interpret the next piece of the Archonexus map. Nice. Well, no more studying the immense structure. Now, we can actually just focus on all of our chores around the base. By the way, Joyce and Sean are actually doing work around the colony, which is very, very welcome, because we sort of need the extra hands. And it is getting worked on, albeit quite slowly. Although something I'm noticing, the Devil Strand, for some reason, is taking damage. And so we're having just bits and pieces of this Devil Strand just completely fade away, and it effectively refuses to grow. So that's a problem. That, one might say that is, in fact, quite a gigantic problem, in fact. So I'm gonna guess that this is a temperature thing. Let me see. I'm gonna double check on that. Minimum growth is 0 Celsius, and max is 58 Celsius. Okay. And it is currently 14 Celsius. Okay, so it's not even close to 0. I don't know why some of it is dying then. I guess we just shouldn't do it by the riverbank? Maybe it's like too wet. Which is unique, but hey, I guess it happens. So what I'm going to do instead is we are just going to fill out properly. We're just going to fill out this entire section over by the water, And ideally, we should be able to make a little something happen. Because if we do it like that, then like that. It's not the prettiest, but you know what? It'll do. Oh, the amount of empty space we're having to fill up is not pretty, though. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Well, we'll clean that up in a minute. Either way, here's what we're actually working on. So, I have a temple room up and going. It's not the prettiest, but it'll do. We have a power switch on the outside because we do have 2 lights just to make it a little bit more impressive to look at. Over here on the left, this is going to be our generator room. It has plenty of rooms for batteries, so should work out quite nicely. Storage room is up and going with a cooler, so all of our food is gonna be a-okay. Most of it has been eaten or expired, so that sucks. So we are going to load up a bit more fuel and start making some vegetarian meals. Then our big room right here is slowly but surely being completely filled out. And then as we get cotton, we are going to be able to fill up our rooms with a bunch of carpeting as well. As for the medical room over here, we'll have to figure that out, because honestly, it's such a weird little area too, because even if we do some furniture, for example, if we did something like this, that's 3 rooms. We put a TV right here, that affects all 3. But then it's not quite big enough to actually have the vitals monitor, which is a huge buff when it comes to doing surgeries and stuff, so we're gonna have to figure that out. I actually think that we're just flat not going to be able to put a little hospital inside of our room, so unfortunately, it is what it is. But then I also notice the rooms on the right side are actually a tiny bit smaller than the rooms on the left, which means ya boy has messed up somewhere in the blueprints. So in fact, we should be looking something like that. Yeah, so unfortunate. Luckily it is a quick enough fix, but yeah, no. So we'll break apart all of those. Break apart all of that. Yeah. That gives us a little bit more room to work with. I still don't know if it's going to be quite enough to actually make some medical rooms, but it is something. You know what we could do, right? Realistically. We could just do, because this is going to extend outward, so we go boom, vital monitor right here, and then we go boom, and vital monitor maybe right here. Then we do 2 types of plants right here to keep everyone happy. And maybe we just have 4 medical beds. I know that's but 4 medical beds is better than no medical beds, I suppose. So, you know, there is that. And that does also mean that we need to knock down this wall as well. That feels quite bad. But, you know what? At the end of the day, it's not a huge deal. 1 extra line is just more space. The Imperial Transporter crash. Tribespeople from the Green Bee Tolka will attack. Ugh. Now, here's the thing. We're supposed to befriend the Green Bee Tolka, right? Just double checking, hang on. Green Bee Tolka, okay, hang on a minute. This can actually work out really well. Let's very quickly, convert this into a medical bed. Then, okay, they crash over here. Melee, I know you are busy, but if you could come over here, that'd be helpful. Also, wow. What apparently this Janissary is way more important than the previous one because these dudes are in recon armor. Why couldn't you have shown up with the previous Janissary or whatever? Okay, as soon as the guy shows up, we're going to beat him up, and then we are going to heal him up, and then we're gonna let him go. Ooh, actually, you know what? Before I forget, we actually need to turn this into a prisoner. Okay, here they come. So, melee, your goal is to get one without them all dying. They all have bows. Okay. Well, you punched his head clean off, so, you know, I don't think that one's go. Okay. Alrighty, well. The idea was there. Unfortunately, it appears as though these particular guards mean a lot more business. Something nice, though, is this crash shuttle means that we can already make a shuttle. That's exciting. And the brand new shuttle to pick up the Janissary is going to show up at any moment. 3, 2, 1. Oh my. You almost landed directly on your guy. Jeez, what is wrong with you people? You make it so difficult to be friends with you. Well, how are you enjoying your stay, Joyce and Sean? I can barely see you with it being dark and raining, but we'll just assume you're enjoying your stay. You are here for 10 more days, so we've already gone through just about 8 days. Not bad at all. Joyce, why are you so upset? You saw a corpse. You're also greedy for an impressive bedroom. You're also soaking wet. Hey, Apple, can you, this won't affect Sean. Actually, ooh, I have an idea. Apple, come over here. Come, quickly. Okay, it's really hard to see you, but anima song. Feeling a little better? Oh, only +8 with all these, like, -9s? Well, that's not good. You know what else isn't good? A leathery stranger has arrived. He apparently never sleeps and never needs to eat. He may be very useful, but you sense there's something he's not telling you. Fine. You are allowed to join for a bit, but you are allowed to wear nothing at all. Let's see. Chemical interest, body mastery, high passion in mining, high passion in animals. Boy, do I hope that you are not going to be randomly super giga evil. So you legit just don't have... You don't have the need to eat, sleep, you're just kinda OP. Assuming you stay on our side, which is exactly why I'm having you ditch every single bit of your armor. Well, if Rattle continues to be somewhat on our side, then we will convert Rattle into one of us. However, if this leathery human decides to take up arms against us, we will simply have no choice and must dispatch him in return. By the way, as far as the base goes, I have installed a ton of batteries because we are generating so much excess power right now, and we had so many components, that I figured just having a fully stocked generator room was probably going to be for the best. There is also a colossal wildfire spreading across the entire bottom side of the map. Unfortunately, there's not really a way for us to contain it at this point. The good news is it is not going to cross the river, so we don't have to worry about it on our side, but I do believe that it was just a random, random lightning strike that caused it, and, yeah. The results are absolutely catastrophic. And I'm gonna take a wild guess and say... Yep, minus 15! Apple says, ah! Everything is on fire! Yeah, unfortunately. And it still has quite a bit of fuel left to burn. So, not good. Really not good, but unfortunately not a lot we can do about it, especially because we tend to flee from fires. Oh, now we just need stuff to grow. We do also have one Garulian tree ready to go. And we also have a ghoul, a ghoul named Sadako who is attacking. Well, alright. Melee, destroy this ghoul. You know, it's so funny that Melee has gone from, like, a normal, albeit slightly psychopathic, person who's just amazing at fighting, into a ghoul, into a regular person, into a dryad. Like, Melee has undergone so many physical transformations. But that's fine. Everything is okay. Also, oh my goodness. Absolutely devastated over here. Yikes. That's one of the biggest downsides about liking nature as much as we do, is that, it makes it real easy for fires to spread. In the absolute biggest stroke of luck I've ever seen, the Green Bee Tolka of all people want peace talks. So that's exactly what we're doing. So, Apple and the self-tamed Elephant Earl are heading over to do just that. Also, apparently we have days of food unlimited. Never seen that before, but considering Apple literally gains... well, technically doesn't gain food, but rather pauses hunger while it's daytime. Yeah, that seems pretty good. That does. Yes, indeed. So, ideally, this goes extremely well. We get a ton of rep, and that makes it real easy to befriend the Green Bee Tolka, who have the final Archonexus map. I guess we'll find out momentarily. Peace talks flounder. They remain unchanged. Alright, well, great. Wonderful. Okie dokie. Well, back home we go, then. Great. Well, the attempt was there. Now, I am thinking, once we're able to start sending... well, that's not good. Apple is absolutely terrible at fighting. He does have an attack, though. Earl! Help me, Earl! Oh, this is gonna suck. Apple, I sure hope that you can win this fight. Hopefully our cybernetics actually help us enough to be able to do this. Okay, death in 9 hours, good enough. Start attacking the other one. Okay, you're weakened, good enough. Attack this one again. Now, remember, Apple does have Wimp, so I am extremely worried about this. Okay, good. Apple, start attacking this guinea pig. Well... What are we gonna do about this? I'm not worried that Apple will bleed out, because she does have sap blood. But we're not in a good situation. This guinea pig will go down. Okay, this is about to be real rough, I think. Okay. Let's... Melee, you might be just moving completely on your own right now, if I'm honest. Let's take some ambrosia. Okay, and you're taking medicine. Good choice. I also want you to take some vegetarian meals. Go rescue Apple, pretty please, if you're able. We are in a really bad situation here, though. The good news is, both of these guinea pigs will die. And I think Apple will recover. I just hope that Apple recovers before, you know, we die or get ambushed or anything along those lines. So the quicker Melee gets there to join up, the better. And Melee is getting some stuff. Okay, Melee's on the move. Caravan Battle 1. Well, would you consider this a win? Because I don't know that I would. Are we able to just reform Caravan and get moving? I sure guess so. Okay, never mind. Nope. We cannot get moving, so yeah, Melee has to get over there one way or another. Now, Melee has immediately decided that it is a great time to go to sleep. So, that doesn't help. The travel time isn't too terrible, though, so as soon as Melee is up and at him, we're gonna go to Apple. We're gonna be fine. Everything... is gonna be okay. Melee is almost there. Even just a little bit of doctoring will be more than enough. Oh, look, we have an exotic goods trader. Not worried about that right now. Melee's almost there. Almost there. Almost there. This is nerve-wracking. Apple is, like, currently bleeding out. I know Melee is moving. You're moving as fast as you absolutely can. I know that. But that doesn't make it any less stress-inducing. Oh, okay. Why are you over there? Okay. You have herbal medicine. Why? Okay. Go tend. Tend now. Death in 3 hours. Please tell me Melee showed up in time. Goodness. Melee showed up exactly in time. It's not pretty, but Apple is still alive. Oh my goodness. That was way too close. Also, we have negative 427,000 days of food. We are never eating for the rest of existence. Okay, Melee, with the help of Earl, is bringing Apple back. We also have fertility procedures, so if we can capture any kind of prisoner, we could potentially make some more animakin, and that would be great. That would be so good. Let's also get gunsmithing going right away. Then, Bowman, you're gonna go trade with Humps. Oh, an Archotech eye and an Archotech apparel. Oh, I want that. I want that so bad. I want it. But you don't want anything that we can give you. Ooh. If we trade a fair bit of our gold... Oh man, this is... The longer I do this, the more expensive it gets. If we give up 169 of our gold, combined with all of our silver, we can get the Archotech eye. And I'm gonna do exactly that. An Archotech eye is such a colossal upgrade, and it's absolutely going on to Natalie. Because Natalie is the only ranged fighter who we know is gonna stick across every single colony. So it'd be quite nice to have, you know, the best possible shooting. Goodness. Far too much stress. Far too much stress. Well, alright. Not even close, baby. Not even close. Here's the good news. We have fertility procedures, so we can get more animakin now. Just, you know, maybe play it a little bit safer. That one little oopsie almost cost us our leader who we've had across every single place. So, be a little smarter now. Now is not the time to trip at the finish line. Well, that's not good. A cold snap. An unusual cold snap is set in. Cold snaps can quickly kill by hypothermia. That's not good. By the way, in a single go, we have converted Flossie to the Feline Synergy. She's also apparently very good at crafting and has the incredible abilities of Ascetic, very vigilant student, and animal friend. However, incapable of intellectual. So, a little bit of a problem there, but what are you gonna do? And I am also making a little bit of a prison area, because my thinking is, yeah, I want some animakin. We've gone long enough without it, and I've decided that it is finally time. Also, Rattle has not turned on us just yet, but I do think, we are going to be making Flossie into a viewer character who is waiting. She's asking for 2 colonists 13 or older to serve her for 18 days. I don't know how I feel about that. We have 7 days to decide. But, yes, we do have a viewer character waiting, so I figure Flossie can be just that. We are going to have to change her name once she grows up. After all, at the moment, she is actually old enough to be converted. Oh. Right, I forgot that 13 is apparently an adult. Right, RimWorld things. Ooh. Also, you'll be happy to know that Apple is home and doing much better. We are going to need to get a different type of kidney, which I'm not super psyched about, but, you know, it is what it is. And at some point, we are going to be giving the Archotech eye to Natalie. So, I'm going to get Flossie changed over, and then we're going to say hello to a brand new viewer character. And with just a taste, behold! Tharos Dalkuro has arrived. Now, naturally, being converted into a Dryad, there is a tiny bit of stat buffing that happened, I think mainly in melee construction and mining. It's not a big deal, but it is there. There also is only so much customization I can do with the Dryad, so I decided to keep the OG hair color, but you do have a very high interest in everything doctoring and crafting, so I figure you will be a doctor and a crafter. Also, you didn't go get some clothes, so go do that. Either way, it is currently -6 degrees Celsius outside. And, well, there goes all of our crops, basically. So that's... Oh, that's great. That's so good. We do also need to set scheduling, so let's do double recreation for both of you. Then we'll do a little bit of meditation, and then the ever-popular 5 hours of work. Now, that's just 5 hours guaranteed. You know, you don't technically have to work that whole time. How are your needs doing? You're already upset because trees have been ravaged. You've been here for 5 minutes, and you're already upset about the trees. Okay, well, you know what? That's just how it goes. I'd be upset, too, if I walked into a forest and... Go into a forest, look inside, no trees. Like, yeah, I guess I'd be pretty upset about that, too. Apple is currently undergoing psychite withdrawal, which is just great. Oh, that's so good. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Administer some psychite tea, and Dalkuro, you will do that as soon as you wake up. Now, since Dalkuro is a viewer character, that does make our whole team of 5 a little bit more awkward. So, basically, when we go to the next base, we're either going to have to leave Bowman or Apple. Because they're the only two non-viewer characters, and I would rather not leave any viewer characters behind if I can help it. Now, over here in our little makeshift research area, I figured it was probably a good idea to get smelting. So we are going to not do anything here, but we can also make some clothes, because Dalkuro is going to need some. So what we'll do, let's go ahead and get some tribal wear for you. Let's do one of these, and also a dust. Nope. I don't know. Why does it always do that? Ah! I accidentally hit the button, so unfortunate. Duster! There we go. And one of these. Mainly for the heat protection, but either way, it is also relatively good defense. There we go. Well, once we get that made, Dalkuro won't be running around with... Wait a minute. Aesthetic. Is that the one where you like being... nude? No. That's just the one where you like living in low, beauty. No, not low beauty. You like low living standards. Okay. Well, we can make that work. Probably. Also, that cold snap is, really doing a number on us, so I think what we're gonna do is... I didn't plan to do this, but... I think we're just going to fill in this entire roof area. It is getting really, really cold, and because we have a vent in all of the rooms, yeah, it's not pretty. But this will now be a full-blown dedicated housing area, so there is that. Let's see. And then let's get all this roofed off as well. That way, absolutely nothing is open to the elements. Good stuff. Alright. Well, it won't get too much warmer in here, but it also won't get quite as cold, so it is something. But, either way, we have established the 3rd colony in our quest. And once we get our little prisoner area up and running, we can get some animakin saplings. Because... animakin don't have babies, they have saplings, which we're not going to question the logistics on that. We just know that it's a thing. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And in the next one, here's our quests. Survive the cold snap, which we're already doing fairly well. Get Dalkuro Well, Dalkura, yeah, it's not completely incorrect. Some clothes, and work on... there goes all our plants. All our plants are dying. You know what? Actually, hang on a minute. Wait. Harvest everything, because it's all gonna die. Harvest it all. Let's do a work drive on Natalie. Then let's do a work drive on Master Melee. So we go boom. Boom. Good stuff. Okay. Everyone's now working a lot quicker. Hypothermia is kicking in on Rattle, which I don't super like. Ah. Yes, that is a problem. Well, this is also a great test on if Rattle is actually going to turn on us or not, because if Rattle stays nice through all this, then Rattle is actually, like, you know, pretty legit. But if not, then, yeah. Rattle, go to bed. Go to bed. Alright, well, either way. Welcome aboard, Dalkuro! You're probably gonna do wonderful things. And thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.